It's mushroom time, it's mushroom time. Let's go outside, see what we find. It's mushroom time, it's mushroom time. It's time for mushroom journeys.
Hi friends, it's a beautiful day here in southern Indiana, early September, and my last video was all about the ringless honey mushroom. In that video I discussed how aggressive and destructive that mushroom can be, or honey mushrooms in general, sometimes parasitizing the living tissue of trees, and sometimes taking over whole forests and becoming some of the largest organisms on the planet. But turnabout is fair play. I have a fungus over here that parasitizes the honey mushroom, a mycoparasite. So yeah, pretty cool. Let's take a look. So this is an area where I tend to find lots of ringless honey mushrooms. Although this year, most of them have been munched up by the squirrels and deers. There are quite a few in this disturbed area. There's a good example of a young cluster. If you want to know more about the ringless honey mushroom, watch my previous video. But what I want to show you is over here. This little cluster of amorphous masses is what happens when the aborted Entoloma fungus takes over the fruiting bodies of the ringless honey mushroom. The aborted Entoloma has its own mushroom, kind of a pale grayish mushroom that is also edible, but there aren't really any lookalikes for the shrimp of the woods, but there are some dangerous lookalikes for the aborted Entoloma mushroom, like the lead poisoner or livid pink gill. That's more often found in Europe, but is also found in the United States. But these, if I can pull one out, will be separate little balls usually, although there are some atypical forms where they all fuse. If they get to a cluster really early, sometimes they can all fuse. So yeah, you can see there's different little balls of abortive Entoloma here. Those were individual mushrooms. Sometimes there can be a lot of these kind of looking like little bits of popcorn at the base of a tree. The abortive Entoloma can be found all over the eastern United States, and it has kind of a short season, late summer to fall. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to eat this one because there was an old house here covered in lead paint. This was an old homestead, so it's contaminated ground. So this is called the shrimp of the woods, not because it has a shrimp-like flavor, but just because it has a springy, meaty, shrimp-like texture. But it is a delicious wild edible mushroom. If you ever find a big group of honey mushrooms, keep an eye out for the shrimp of the woods. All right, let's see what else we can find. Check it out, the tiger's eye. This is a very unique mushroom, a very unique polypore mushroom. You can see the very tiny pores, very thick and woody, but unlike most polypore mushrooms, this has a central stem, and it also might be mycorrhizal, although it may also be a bit of a decomposer as well. Not a whole lot is known about it. This is Coltricia cinnamomea. There's another one, Coltricia perennis, which grows more in association with conifers, whereas the cinnamomea grows more in association with hardwood trees like oaks. And these usually come up in big clusters. These are found all over the world, mostly found in the summer, especially the late summer. It's not edible. That's just too tough and woody. Nice, deep, dark, kind of reddish brown flesh. You might be familiar with Michael Kuo. I use his Mushrooms of the Midwest book quite often. He has a web page, mushroomexpert.com. It's very useful, especially when the About Wikipedia link on iNaturalist to a species leaves you wanting more. But on that website, he suggests that you could make decorative mushroom arrangements out of the tiger's eye, as it dries quite quickly and retains much of its original beauty. So maybe there's a crafting opportunity for you if you can find the tiger's eye. So yeah, let's continue down the trail, go look for some more early September mushrooms. Come on. So here's a mushroom. It's a nice white pored chicken of the woods. And it's had a few nibbles, but I'm still gonna collect that. That's in good form. Interestingly enough, this same mushroom fruited at the base of the same tree about a year ago. That's not how it usually goes with chicken of the woods. So that's pretty cool. And this mushroom is a butt rot fungus. It will always be fruiting at the base of a tree. It indicates some kind of incipient or unseen decay. The tree may look perfectly healthy, but inside it might be hollowing out a bit. But yeah, that's a good find. Awesome. Some nice whiteboard chicken in the woods. Looks pretty good. All right, let's keep moving. All right, I think I saw some more mushrooms down this way. So here's the mushroom I was coming over here to find. This nice little purple guy. The viscid violet Cortinarius, or viscid violet Cortinarius iodes. You don't often see a bright purple mushroom, so these are pretty cool, especially when they first come out. They'll be nice, vivid, bright purple. And I think there was an older one over here. You can see it has kind of a swollen base there. Has a nice umbo, or a little bulge there in the middle, and a little bit of reticulation on the stem, kind of a netting pattern or some striation lines there. And Cortinarius typically have kind of a rusty brown spore print. You can see in between those gills. We're starting to see some rusty brown spores. But yeah, this is not an edible species. No Cortinarius should ever be eaten, but it is a very pretty one. And this one can be found in the eastern United States, summer to fall. But yeah, always happy to see this one. It's a good sign that cooler temperatures are on the way. All right, let's see if there are any more interesting mushrooms we can find. Here you go, turtle. You want some mushroom? We'll see. Oh, so many spider webs. Wow. Look at that big mushroom. Oh, there's another one. Oh, this is interesting. Here we have a couple Eastern American platter mushrooms. This is a mushroom I usually find in May. You can find them April through October, but it's rare to find them here in September. Last May there were about 30 or 40 of these mushrooms on this log over here. So it must have been triggered to fruit again by the cold temperatures. But yeah, this is a big impressive mushroom. It resembles the deer shield mushroom, but it does not have a pink gill surface. It will have a white gill surface, and it tends to split in the cap quite a bit. It's not an edible species, but a very impressive mushroom. And then here we have what looks like some orange mycenas. A little cluster of bright orange mushrooms. Those are cool. They can look like deadly gallerinas, but doesn't matter. You don't want to eat either of those. Nice, bright, beautiful mushroom. So there's those orange mycenas underneath. Very nice. Something over here too. Walked right by it. Check those out. Got some little oyster mushrooms. It's a pretty small stick for oyster mushrooms to be growing on. And these are getting some color. I'm going to say that these are the winter oysters, or pearl oyster mushrooms, as opposed to the summer oysters or pale oyster mushrooms, which don't usually take on much color, and they won't be quite as meaty and thick in the cap, and they won't be quite as round or robust either. But yeah, they're a little dried out. That one has a bird bite, or a turtle bite, it looks like. Huh, well, I guess I'll just take this one. That's something. Nice. That's pretty good for here. I want to check out another place. This time last year I found one of the world's largest lion's mane mushrooms. So I want to head over to that spot and check. Maybe we can find some more lion's mane or something else of interest. So let's do that.